Hello, I'm Bob McFarland, the software developer for Scripty Systems. I'll be your host as we take a look at starting a series production with Scheduler. All right, let's get going. To start a series production, click the File menu, then New Series Production. The main window opens with a file dialog so I can select the location and enter the name of the file. One note, sometimes the Mac OS will configure your desktop and documents folders to be moved to iCloud. If that is the case with your setup, do not save your production file to your desktop or the documents folder. This can cause all kinds of problems because the OS keeps trying to move the file off of your local hard drive and onto iCloud, while Scheduler is trying to write changes to the file. That just doesn't work. It would be like trying to draw a picture on a piece of paper and someone keeps yanking the paper out from under your pencil. You'll just end up drawing on the desktop. That's not good. Actually, what happens in Scheduler is that you'll start getting all kinds of strange behaviors and errors. You'll be contacting tech support complaining about Scheduler not working, and we don't want that. All right, back to the project. My documents folder is not on iCloud, so I'll keep the file there. Okay, I'll give it a name and click Save. Notice this box pops up with my name in it. This is why you created an account that you learned about in the very first video. I can now select the department I'm working in and my title for this project. You can see that I have Directorial and First AD selected. I'll click Done. I am now officially the file owner with full permissions to do anything in the project. Notice the message that popped up. The project has been registered for personal data syncing and data sharing with up to 4 other participants. This means that your second AD and 3 other members of your team can use the Scheduler application and share the data for the project. Now you'll need to add them as participants and set them up for data sharing, but we'll get into that in another video. I'll just click OK for now. So the project has been set up and the first episode created as Episode 1. Now you can rename the episode by simply typing it in the dropdown, then tabbing out of the box. I'll change it to 101 to indicate we are in Season 1. I'll type 101 and press Tab. I'll confirm that I want to change it by clicking the Yes button. And that's all there is to that. Every production is based on the script, so we need to import our script. The little book icon is where you keep your list of the various revisions for an episode. Oh, did I mention that you can import each revision as it comes out without losing your breakdown? Let's import the first script. All right, I'll click the book. Here is the list of the revisions. To add a revision, click the plus button. I'll type in white and the script date and press return. Notice the plus button changed to what looks like a box with an arrow pointing down. That is the import button and indicates you are set up and ready to import a script. I'll click it and a file dialog opens so I can select the script. Scheduler can import Final Draft, Screenwriter MMX, and most PDFs. PDFs can be tricky because they can be encoded in such a way that makes them impossible to import, but most PDFs can be imported. Please keep that in mind when a PDF won't import for you, though. You may have to get the Final Draft or Screenwriter MMX version. Now I have the Final Draft version of a sample script here. I'll select it and click Open. The script gets imported and a window opens so that I can preview it before importing it. Sometimes a script can have problems and should not be imported until the problems are corrected. This gives you a chance to look it over before importing it. Scheduler also makes a backup of your file before importing the script, just in case something was messed up and you imported it anyway. If something does happen and you need to go to the backup, it'll be in the same location as the production file and it will contain the words before and the name of the revision, in this case white. If after importing you find something went wrong, just delete the production file and rename the backup by removing the before white. Okay, back to our import. Everything looks good, so I'll click Proceed. The script is imported and a list of new characters that were found in the script is presented. These are characters with dialogue. What do we mean by new characters? Obviously, every character is a new character since this is the first time we imported the script. Notice the series and episode options. In a series project, characters can be recurring characters for the entire series. Some characters may only appear in a single episode. When you import a script for subsequent episodes, this list will only contain new characters that were found in that episode. They may be new characters that have been added to the series and will continue in subsequent episodes, or they may just be characters who will only appear in that episode. Now we'll go into that in a bit when we set up the next episode. One note, the characters in this list are sorted based on the number of scenes they are in and the amount of dialogue, so the main character should be at the top of the list. For this demonstration, I'll scroll to the bottom of the list and select a couple of episode characters. All right, I'll click Done. All right, after identifying series and episode characters, you're presented with the main characters list. Notice we have a grouping of characters for the series. I'll scroll down and we can also see a grouping for episode 101. Notice within the series grouping and the episode grouping, there are different categories of characters such as scripted characters, stunts, kids, and so on. You can manage these categories in the master preferences or project preferences. Each category can be configured with a starting number and letter. For example, if we need a stunt double for Sandy, we click the plus button in the stunts row. Notice the number is 100x. Stunts are currently configured to start with the number 100 and to have a suffix of the letter X. All right, I'll type the name, then I'll click Save. That character is now added to the list. If you want to move a character to a different position in the list, just drag them to the new position and they'll be renumbered for you automatically. Now I'll confirm that I want to do this. If an episode character becomes a series character, just drag them from the episode into the series grouping. You can't move characters from one episode to another, but you can move them from an episode to the series and vice versa. The advantage to keeping your characters in their appropriate category is that for an episode character, you can use the same number as another character in a different episode. For example, if you like to have the episode bad guy as number 40, you can have a character with the number 40 in each episode. Now, once you have your characters in the correct order, you can lock their numbers. I'll click the script menu, then lock character numbers. I'll confirm it by clicking yes. Now, if I try to drag a character to another location, I can't. You can edit a character by double-clicking on their row or by clicking the little circle with the arrow in it. Notice the check mark for number locked. To unlock a character's number so it can be changed, just uncheck the box. Now, one quick note about this window. It's easy to move through the list of characters using the pointer at the top right to move to the next character, and then the pointer on the left to move to the previous character, like that. There is other information for a character that I'll go into in another video, so let's get back to the script for now. I'll close the character detail window. I'll close the characters list. By the way, you can access it anytime under the script menu. Now, when the script was imported, not only were the speaking characters extracted, but each scene was extracted along with the speaking characters in each scene and the script itself. Also notice that a strip was automatically created for each scene. One thing that we'll talk about in another video is the strip board. A strip board was automatically created for you with the strips for each scene already added to it. And check out the strips board video to learn more about that. Let's add another episode so I can show you some of the cool searching features. Before I add the episode, I need to decide which unit will be shooting the new episode. Maybe your production has one unit shooting episodes 1, 3, and 5, and another unit shooting 2, 4, and 6, or some other combination. For this demonstration, we'll have another unit shooting episode 2, so I need to add this unit. I'll click the Participants menu, then Units. Notice we have our main unit that was created when we started the project. Now, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail here as I'll cover this in another video. For now, I'll just click the plus button and add the new unit. I'll type in the name of the unit and tab out of it. Always tab out of edit boxes to lock in your change. All right, I'll close the window so we can add our new episode. I'll click the plus button here to add the new episode. I'll type in the number 102, and I'll select the unit from the dropdown. I need to select the unit so that it can be set for the initial strip board that will be created for this episode. All right, finally, I'll click Save, and we have our second episode. Now let's import the script. I'll click the book icon and add the revision. Click the Import button and select the script. Review the script and click Proceed. The script is imported, and here is the list of new characters that were found in this episode. Okay, I can review the list and confirm that we haven't added any new series characters and click Done. I'm again presented with the full character list so I can check the numbers for the new episode. Here, I'll scroll down so we can see both episodes. Well, that all looks good, so I'll just close the window for now. Let's take a look at what we have here in the main script window. We have the script for the episode we just imported. If I want to look at the script for a different episode, I just select it in the drop-down like this. All right, now here's the cool part. On the left, at the top of the scenes, there are a couple of search boxes. One to search scene information, and another to search the script text. I'll type Trixie in the box on the left to see all the scenes in which Trixie has dialogue. I press return, and you can see that Trixie was found in 32 scenes. I'll click OK on the pop-up, and notice that it returned the scenes from every episode where Trixie appears in a scene. All right, I'll click the X to clear the search, and now let's search the script text. I'll click OK to dismiss the pop-up. Notice that the word is highlighted in the script for me. So that's a handy feature for finding props and other important items in the script. I'll click the X to clear our search so we can continue our tour. In the center near the top, you can see that the eighths of a page were calculated for you. Here you have a place to enter the continuity day, although you may want to get that from the script supervisor. The characters with dialogue were added to the scene. If other non-speaking characters are in the scene and you want to add them to the list, click the plus button at the top of the list. A list of all of the characters not already in the scene is presented. Notice the drop-down has non-speaking pre-selected. Whenever you add a character that has no dialogue, be sure to add them as non-speaking. If you add them as on-screen or off-screen, then import a revision, and they do not have dialogue, they will be removed from the scene. Non-speaking is the way to keep them in the scene when importing revisions. You can add one character or select multiple characters by pressing the Command key, then clicking on each character you want to add. After you've selected one or more characters to add to the scene, click the Save button, and they are added to the scene. To remove a character from a scene, select them in the list and click the trash can. Confirm the delete and they will be removed. Now if you delete an on-screen or off-screen character from a scene, then import a revision where they still have dialogue, they'll be added back into this list. Oh yeah, you can double-click a character in the list to open the character detail window we looked at earlier. Now here in the scene you can add notes and also add to the shot list by clicking the appropriate plus button. I'll let you play with that on your own. There is one more thing I want to talk about while we're here. This is a good place to do your initial read-through of the script, and here's why. While reading through the script, you may find things that need to have a strip, such as a VFX shot, that only applies to one small part of the scene. Maybe it will ultimately be shot by a second unit, so you'll want to create a strip for just that part of the scene. You can highlight the text in the script like this. Click the plus button for the strips list. The Add Scene Strip window opens with the strip number as 1 Part 2 already set for me. I can add any quick details and save it. We'll get into the details of a strip in another video. For now, I'll just click the Save button. Notice that the first strip has been renumbered as 1 Part 1. Now watch what happens to the script when I click on the first strip. The highlighted text goes away. Now I'll click on the second one again. It highlights the applicable text. Now you're not limited to a single block of text. I'll click the Rewind button to erase the current selections, then select multiple blocks of text. When I add that strip, it is applicable to those sections of the script, so anyone looking at it will be able to see that it only applies to those parts of the script. Okay, that's enough to get you started on your breakdown. You're probably ready to jump into your strip board and start arranging your schedule. Check out the strip boards video for that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.